Sorry, I just needed to wake up. Good morning. Last weekend, I was invited to this social event and there was a lot of celebrities there.
Thank you everybody for being here.
Listen, at the end of the day, celebrities are just normal people. But not really. I received this email and for the first few days, I thought I was being pranked because there was no address and the email specifically said, you cannot invite anybody. So I screenshotted it and immediately sent it to a few of my friends and I said, can you check if this is legit? Because if it's not and I'm being kidnapped, then it was nice knowing you guys. And on the day of the event, I get this new email with the address finally, and it added that they could pay for my ride to get there. So I thought, they got budget. Maybe it is legit. Why am I even invited? Like, I'm nobody. I just make music in my bedroom and film videos at home. I basically have the biggest imposter syndrome. If you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's basically, hold on. The persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. It's the experience of feeling like a phony. You feel as though at any moment you are going to be found out as a fraud. I felt like somebody is gonna call me out at any moment. Like, that's the imposter right there. Why is he invited? I just reminded myself, Jeffrey, keep your head up and just don't embarrass yourself. So when I got there was security and a lineup of guests that was waiting to get in. And everybody was so quiet. So I think at that moment, it occurred to me that, wait, if I couldn't invite anybody, most of these people couldn't invite anybody either. So at first, I didn't want to say anything. I was way too nervous. I feel like everybody was looking at me, even though I think nobody was looking at me. But then I thought, wait, nobody cares about me. And I feel like everybody's kind of nervous as well. I can't be the only one. So why would I be embarrassed? So I started making conversation with the person behind me. And slowly but surely, we started to have an amazing conversation. We just started talking about where we're from and what we do. And then the person in front of us overheard us talking and then joined the conversation. And the next thing you know, we started meeting people in the line. That night ended up being really cool. I got to talk to a few people I was a fan of and everybody was really sweet. I don't know what's the lesson from this. I guess sometimes you feel like you don't fit in, but really, does anybody really fit in? The next day, something really weird happened. I kept thinking, wait, I don't normally talk so openly with strangers. I definitely said something that was out of line or made me look like a weirdo. I kept picturing the people that I met talking behind my back and saying like, that Jeffrey guy was weird. And during the whole day, I was questioning myself, Jeffrey, what did you say? What did you say that was out of line? And I just couldn't remember. And then I realized, I don't think I said anything wrong. Why was I trying so hard to find something that I did wrong? At the end of the day, it's fine to look back and think that you might have said too much and learn from your mistakes. But the reality is most people are thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about you all the time. And even if people are talking about you, maybe they don't have anything better to do, and that says a whole lot more about them.
Please stand clear.
I'm hungry. One of the scariest questions I get while I'm in LA is when people ask me to introduce myself. The reason why I hate it is that it feels like you have to label yourself using just one word. In a way, it's good because it makes it easy for people to recognize you. The bad thing is that it subconsciously tells me that I can only be one thing, which I truly believe that one human being doesn't need to just be one thing. I usually introduce myself as a singer-songwriter, and the pressure that comes with that is there's always a follow-up question like, oh, has your song ever been on the radio? Or can I find you on Spotify? I feel like it would be easier if I had just like a degree or a diploma in something to justify that this is what I do. As an artist, there's this pressure of feeling like you have to have accomplished a huge milestone, like having a hit song or having a song on TV to justify if you're credible or not. So very often when I describe myself as a singer-songwriter, I feel like an imposter because I just do this in my bedroom. The thing is, I think that's what happens to everybody when they want to try something new and step foot in a new environment. For example, let's say you want to stay fit this year and you get a gym membership for the first time. The second you step foot in the gym, it's gonna be intimidating. You're gonna look at all the workout machines and you're gonna be so confused and feel like everybody's looking at you because you don't know what you're doing. I signed up for a group dance class at one point, and the minute I walked in, I felt like everybody was looking at me and everybody was a professional and I'm the only one that was lost. Like, of course you're gonna feel uncomfortable when you're trying something new. You've never done it before. I feel like there's always this pressure that you have to act like you know what you're doing. But sometimes it's okay to not know. It actually takes a lot of strength to admit that you don't know it all and ask for help. And what I've noticed is that people are much more willing to help than you would think. There's nothing embarrassing about that. And you know, I say that, but I still feel weird introducing myself as a singer-songwriter. I guess I just want to remind myself that even though I feel like I still have a lot to prove, that I should be kind to myself and still be confident. I feel like a lot of people are trying new things this year and might feel imposter syndrome. At one point, you might reach a roadblock and tell yourself that you're not meant for this, but it's normal that it's difficult. As long as you're trying, I think that's the most important thing. I always misplace my keys when I get home, so I got this just for that. Bon appetit. A few weeks ago, I had a songwriting session with some really talented people. Wait. I'm not really used to working with people yet, so that day I had a hard time being creative and coming up with ideas. We ended up finishing a song, but I remember coming back home feeling defeated. I was really mad and disappointed at myself because I feel like I didn't contribute as much as I wanted to. I remember calling my dad and asking him if I'm even meant to do this, if sometimes things don't come naturally to me. And I was reminded that that's why I moved here in the first place. I think there's a quote that says, if you're the smartest or most talented person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room. I guess the lesson here is trying something new or being in a room with people that have more experience than you is actually a really great thing. It's an opportunity to challenge yourself and to up your game. I think there's definitely moments to be a leader, but there's also moments where you have to humble yourself and admit that you're not the smartest. I think the cool part about all of this is that when you finally admit that to yourself, you stress a lot less. New episode is out.